18 college basketball games. We've got one NFL game, Monday Night Football, beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time or later. So we'll have a lot of picks from those games tonight. So let's go ahead and take a look at our Pick Dawgz crew for today. We'll have Brian Bittler come aboard as team number one over at Pick Dawgz. Brian still holding the top notch, huh?
Yep, I got my trophy, number one, college football, and I'm picking up steam, baby.
All right, everybody. Al Nino will join us as well. Rod Zawacki. Of course, Chris Ruffolo will co-host, and Kevin Thomas will join us as well. All right, let's get this ball rolling. First, we'll go ahead and bring in. Whoops, let's see who we got here. We get the right. We got to get the right. The buttons here smashed here. Why don't you give us an update, Chris, on what's going on with the contest? I know starting December 1st, Sports Chat and Pick Dawgz will have a contest going on.
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely packed right now. Everybody's excited. It's the hot word around town right now in both our Sports Chat Plays and Pick Dawgz groups. We did cut off the deadline earlier today, but there's been so much interest, so many people asking, can I still get in? Can I still get in? We decided to extend the deadline to midnight tonight. You can still get into the groups. You can still get into the contest. Just got to make sure you have to post in both groups. If you want to be in both groups, you got to post. You got to say, I am in the comments. Rod's put the post in each of the Facebook groups. Putting it in one group is only going to get you in one contest. If you want to be in both contests, you got to comment, I am in or I'm in both threads, in both groups.
All right, there you go, guys. You got the deadline here to get in. So be sure to check the rules. And we got this exciting contest, Pick Dawgz and Sports Chat Play. So get on board. All right, let's start our show here. And we got picks coming in from Brian Bittler. He'll be looking here at this game between North Carolina and UNLV. Brian, how are you doing today?
Oh, man, already got a win in the books. Davidson got it done early. Easy winner over Texas. I'm ready to keep on through the rest of the board tonight.
Yeah. Yep, they're playing Maui Classic out with North Carolina, but though still good quality basketball. You'll be looking at a game tonight as North Carolina will be facing UNLV. It's North Carolina laying about 13.5 in this one.
I tell you what, UNLV got blown out by Montana State. This isn't the old running Rebels team that I grew up with, when Larry Johnson was running the floor, one of the best teams in college basketball history. UNC, normally I don't back young teams out of the gate laying this many points, but I just think UNLV is that bad. And they showed us against Charleston. UNC did. They really don't take any mercy on any teams. I think they're going to come in and beat this UNLV team by 25 points tonight.
All right, he says go ahead and take North Carolina laying the points here against UNLV. All right, Chris, I know I was no fan of the Rebels last week as they get pounded by Montana State to open the season. Now, how do you see this one?
Yeah, no, I think in any year that you wouldn't necessarily get much mercy from North Carolina against the lesser teams, but now you have the added factor of North Carolina going out to prove that last year was a bit of an aberration, that they are a much better team than a sub 500 record would indicate. And I think North Carolina's, they've got a little bit of egg on their face. They're a little bit embarrassed after how that team performed last year. I think you're going to see North Carolina take no prisoners this season. I think it starts tonight with UNLV. Still got some somewhat experienced players in that group, Armando Bacot, Garrison Brooks, as well as the younger guys. They got a bunch of 5-star recruits. And like Brian said, UNLV losing to Montana State is not the kind of performance you want to have coming into a high-profile game against North Carolina, a big game on your schedule. I would lay the points with North Carolina in this one as well.
All right, I'll agree here with North Carolina. Good pick there, Brian, on that to Oregon State. I'll call. They win it outright.
Yeah, I love my Beavers, man. I just wish I would have put the money on the money line. Now that would have been far better, but got the win nonetheless with the points. Nice, easy cruise to a victory.
All right, got a lot of action tonight, Monday Night Football, and a lot of college hoops. What you got going on over at Pick Dawgz Premium?
I'll tell you what, I am on a 14-4 NFL run, 78% my last 18 NFL plays. I don't give out a million picks, but red hot, undefeated Sunday. So for tonight, make sure you get my NFL Monday Night Money Shot. Give your wallet a money shot tonight, $30, pickdawgz.com premium pick section.
All right, guys, check out Brian Bittler over at Pick Dawgz Premium. You can see the numbers there. Documented college football, over 800 units of profit, approaching 850. One of those long-term passes gets you in there. Third day all sports pass, all of Brian's plays, NFL, college football, college basketball. Heck, NBA's in play, a little more than 3 weeks away from the start of college hoops. 3 weeks on 3 weeks from Tuesday, we get it started. So why not get on board right now with Brian Biller? He'll get you to the winner's circle. All right, Brian, as always, great having you show. Have yourself a great night, and we'll talk with you on Friday.
I'll see you at the end of the week, Tony. Chris, I'll see you tomorrow morning, ready to knock some more picks out of the park.
All right, Brian. Our buddy Brian Biller here on the show. Of course, don't forget that morning show. Every morning it gets started here. Let's get our buddy Chris here. I think we had lost here. 1 second here. We'll get Chris here. Here we go. Here we go. We'll bring Chris. Kevin Thomas is going out of order here. Here we go. I think we got him. Here we go. What's going on there,
I've been replaced?
No. We're gonna have a lot of new faces starting the next week. Actually, December. We got a couple cappers that will join us here on the drive-through show. So be sure to tune in. We'll continue on the drive-through, and of course, let's welcome to the show our buddy Kevin Thomas. You'll find him over at Pig Dawgz Premium. Let's see if we can cue in Kevin right now. He's got a game. He's gonna be looking at this LSU game. And Kevin, how you doing today?
Good. How you doing, Chris and Tony?
Hey, things are going well. And the game you're going to be looking at here is this LSU team looking to bounce back after that loss to St. Louis, but they got Southeastern Louisiana coming in, and LSU laying some points here.
I love them right here. They came off a very close loss to a very veteran Seton Hall team, so they can't hang their heads down on that. Louisville is shooting about 53%. The only problem is they've been giving up about 50%, but they're shooting 42% from the three-point line. I'm looking at Southeastern Louisiana. They have shot, 45 threes, and they made 5. I looked that up on my calculator. That's 11% from three-point range. So LSU, they want to they want to tighten up on their defense. They're still young. They got a stud out there named Cameron Thomas, no relation to me, even though Brian Bittler might think so, because every now and then we play basketball. So he might think that might be my son, but it's not. That kid's shot 25, and against Seton Hall, 27 in his first game. Five-star recruit. UCLA was after him. He went with LSU, and they're projecting him as a second-round NBA. So LSU, I'll go as high as minus 30 on this one.
All right, Kevin Thomas says go ahead and take LSU. The Tigers laying the 26.5 against Southeastern Louisiana. All right, Chris, what say you in this one?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I looked at this game because this was right in the smack dab middle of everything that I was trying to bet today. And, the thing for me with LSU is that I was a little bit disappointed with how they started the year. I thought they were going to, have a little bit of a better performance against SIU Edwardsville, even without Skylar Mays. I thought they'd blow out a team that hasn't won more than 12 games since joining Division I. But, like Kevin said, there's no shame in losing, to St. Louis. And I think LSU is going to come out here with a bit of a, I don't want to say you have a chip on your shoulder against Southeastern Louisiana, but I think that LSU is going to be out to show that they're a better team than what their first two results would indicate. And I think they're out to show that they're still a good team. They're still a team that you consider in the top part of the SEC this season. And I think this is just a case of wrong place, wrong time for Southeastern Louisiana. So I would lay the points with LSU as well.
All right, I'll agree here on LSU laying the points. Kevin Thomas here joining us on the drive-thru. All right, Kevin, as we approach quarter after the hour, what do you have going on over at Pig Dawgz Premium?
Well, you still got time to get all my top college basketball. I'm 7-4 since college basketball tipped off. Horrible Sunday in NFL, so I have a bounce back Monday night investment going tonight. And you can always check out my 3-day and 7-day packages.
That's right, guys. Check out Kevin Thomas over at Pig Dawgz Premium. That long-term pass will get you going here. If you get to pick up a 30-day pass or a 7-day pass, that's all of Kevin Thomas's plays from the NFL, college football, and college basketball. And, of course, you get a 30-day pass, you get the start of the NBA, which is beginning in about 3 weeks. All right, so check out Kevin Thomas over at Pig Dawgz Premium. All right, Kevin, as always, thanks for joining us on the show. Have yourself a great night, and we'll talk with you next week.
Hey, see you next Monday. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Kevin Thomas here on the drive-thru as joined here with my co-host Chris Ruffolo. We'll get Chris aboard here. Chris, you're up next now. You'll be looking at this contest between Long Beach State and UCLA, and man, you had a beat of the the beat of the season there with that Pepperdine game. I was watching it on Pac-12 Network. That's the only time I subscribed to one of these streaming services when we got college basketball going on, because you get to watch some of those games. But UCLA, they're not playing up to their expectations. They lose to San Diego State. They sweat out a win against Pepperdine in triple overtime. They're going to be laying 17.5 points here against the Beach.
Yeah, and the thing with Long Beach State is that I don't think many people have many high hopes for Long Beach State, as this is a team that at one point was a team that we would back against anybody, any of the big boys, no matter how many points we were getting, and they'd always show up for us. They'd always cover, and then there were a couple down years where the Beach just didn't show up, and there was low tide at the Beach, to put it nicely. I think that. I think we're going to have a little bit of the old Long Beach State back here. I mean, like I've mentioned before, I mentioned the game against San Diego State. Excuse me. I'm not a fan of this UCLA team. I personally think they're the most overrated team in the country. I don't understand the love that this team is getting. I don't think that Chris Smith, Tiger Campbell, these aren't guys that you should be relying on to lead your team. And I don't have high hopes for UCLA in the Pac-12 this year. Long Beach State returning 3 double-digit scorers from last year's team. They brought in Isaiah Washington from Iona as a transfer. He averaged 11.4 points per game last year. This is going to be an exciting Long Beach State team to work with this season. And, we talk about it on the morning show. No one will coach you out of a cover quicker than Mick Cronin when he picks up the whiteboard. And you know what? I still think that Mick Cronin and this UCLA team isn't the right fit. He wants more of a physical team, more of a kind of grind-them-out defense-style team, when this UCLA team, they're young, they want to run and gun, and it's not mixed, and it's like oil and water. I think Long Beach State could even have a chance to pull out an outright upset here. I'm not going to go that far, though. I'm going to take Long Beach State with the points. I think we're going to be able to walk to the window easily with this one.
Yeah, I can't argue that here. Long Beach State plus 17.5 against UCLA. I'm with you there, and just from my experience out here, they ran Ben Howland for that system, and I can't believe they went back to this type of coach. It makes no sense whatsoever. All right, Chris, is past the hour. What do you have going on over at Pig Dawgz Premium?
Well, my college basketball package went off the board tonight. Currently number 3 on the board in NCAA hoops. Get on one of those longer term packages. We've got 3-day, 7-day, 30-day passes, as well as my college basketball season pass. And if we got to a hot start already, I can only imagine what's on board the rest of the way. But I did tell everyone that I had something special lined up for you guys. Starting tomorrow, I'm introducing you to the drive-through advent calendar. Okay, you guys tune in every single night. We're going to open up one of these doors. There's going to be something behind it. There's not going to be chocolate behind it because I already ate it. But there's going to be other stuff for you guys. There could be free premium picks. There could be a deal on one of my packages. We could have a free parlay for you guys. Tune into the drive-through. Come back every night. I'll talk about it on the morning show. I'm not going to tell you what's behind the door on the morning show. I'm not that nice of a guy, but you got to come here. I'll give you guys something that you can sink your teeth into. Guys, don't miss out on this. It's going to be the biggest, event that we're going to have on my segment for the rest of the month. We're going to take care of you guys. It's the holidays, my favorite time of the year. Hop on board.
Hop on board, guys out there with Chris Ruffolo. You can pick up one of those long-term passes. You can see the numbers there. Over 400 units of profit to begin the college basketball season. There is a lot of college basketball. I mean, we got 18 games tonight, a lot of games this week. The weekends are filled with action, so be sure to get on board with one of the long-term packages from Chris Ruffolo. He will get you in the winner's circle. All right, continuing on here on the drive-through. We're going to go ahead and bring in our buddy Rod Zawacki. You'll find him over at Pig Dawgz Premium, as well as in the morning show. Chris and I are going to are butting heads on this game right here. But let's go ahead and bring him in right now. Rod, how you doing, my man?
Doing good. Busy guy here.
You're a busy guy with this contest, my man. We're gonna see a lot of bags under your eyes in this segment. I have a feeling. Grading those picks and answering those questions.
I'm thinking so. But it's worth it.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be fun. Contest coming up.
A lot of fun. All right, you're going to be looking at this Stanford-Alabama game. This one's set for ESPN and ESPN2, I should say, because ESPN has the Monday Night Football game. But this is, if you got a couple of monitors, put this one on. Stanford is a dog here, about 2.5. This one moved a lot. It was about a 1 and moved up to 2.5. But Stanford now the dog from 1 to plus 2.5 in this one. How do you see it?
For me, I see this nice quarterfinal matchup here in the Maui Gym tournament. That's not in Maui, but still got the Maui Gym tournament going on here. It's a nice quarterfinal matchup. For me, Stanford brings back 4 starters from last year. They average points per game last year, shooting 37.3% from the 3-point line last year. But what they did last year was they have a nice defense here at Stanford. Only letting teams score 62.5. Probably one of the top recruits they've ever landed here in Stanford. Going to come in and be a huge addition to this Cardinals team. So they actually have expectations here. I looked at Alabama in their opening game. They shot 39%. 34%, not so good. 7 and 31 from beyond the arc. They gave up 20 rebounds against Jacksonville State, which is what I look. It's not very good for me. This Stanford team, they're coming in here. They're going to be pumped and excited to finally get this first game under the belt. I'm going to take Stanford plus the 2.5.
All right, Rod Zawacki says, go ahead and take Stanford.
I think they're a good shot. They upset and win outright.
All right, so it's even possible money line there with Stanford plus the 2.5 against Alabama. All right, Chris, what say you in this contest?
Yeah, this was the hardest game I think for me on the board. And of course, it had to be the last one of the day. But I'm going with Stanford as well. I know Alabama's got a ton of talent returning. They lost their best player in Kyra Lewis, and I think they could actually be better without him, just because I don't think there's going to be as much, I think he was a ball-dominant point guard, and I think now it gives the rest of the team a little bit better of a chance to share the ball this season. But I just think for this game, at least, I think we're going to be able to see Zlair Williams, the recruit that Rod was talking about. I think he's going to be able to show up and show what he's got, and then start to try to live up to all the hype that was surrounding him coming into the Stanford program. Stanford's got arguably the player of the year in the front court, Oscar De Silva, and I think that this could be a Stanford team that we have to watch out for as the season goes on. And Stanford on the football field hasn't been kind to me, but I think the basketball team can do me a couple favors here. So I'm going to lean towards Stanford in the points. Definitely not my strongest play. Didn't make the premium list, but I like Stanford with the points here.
All right, 2 votes for Stanford, 1 vote for Alabama. I just like the depth a little bit on Alabama. Stanford beginning of the game. I know that was a kind of a down effort here in the beginning for Alabama, but I think they were looking for this primetime spot here. All right, Rod, what do you have going on over at Pig Dawgz Premium?
I still got available tonight, Rod's Monday Night Triple. I've got 2 selections in college basketball and your Monday Night Football side winner. That's available over at the website for $25. Or grab yourself one of them long-term packages like we said. You grab a week, grab a month. Mitch is going to equal the consensus report for that. Can't go wrong with buying something long. Nice consensus report included in that.
Absolutely, guys. Good time to get one of those long-term passes from Rod Zawacki. He's got that 30-day pass, all of his plays, NFL, college football, and college basketball. That will get you through most of the bowl games, as the bowl games start right away, right after the final week of the regular season. Actually, there are some bowls during the championship week as well. If you go back and look at the Frisco Bowl, and they get started quickly this year, guys. So get on board with Rod Zawacki over at Pig Dawgz Premium. All right, Rod, as always, great to have you on your show. Have a great night. And one last mention on the contest. When's the last time to enter?
You have until 11:59 p.m. Eastern tonight. I put a last chance post in the Sports Chat Place and the Pig Dawgz group on Facebook there. You can sign up now. If you're already signed in, you don't need to sign up again. Definitely don't need to sign up twice. You're already in there. Chris this afternoon put another post up there that has everybody's numbers. That you need that number to be able to put your picks in. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just follow the instructions. We made it pretty easy. At least I thought we were pretty easy.
Guys,
I will say this. I'm pretty sure it's not as bad as a piece of IKEA furniture. I think these instructions are pretty good, and they're pretty self-explanatory. Like Rod said, we've got it. Got everything on the Facebook groups. But guys, again, tonight, firm deadline. midnight tonight because we've got to get everything ready and started for tomorrow morning. You got to get your picks in. Like I've said to someone in the Facebook group, tomorrow's the first day of graded picks. So if you're not in tonight, you can't have picks for you to be graded. That's why the deadline is where it is. So sorry, Tony, I kind of filibustered there, but
That's fine. That's fine. We got to get that word out.
We do, and you know what? And again, I don't want to be the drill sergeant, but again, guys, last chance. Okay, we were trying to cut it off earlier, but we had so much demand for it, we decided to pushed it till midnight. So hop in and join us on the drive-through. Join us on Pick Dawgz. This is your chance.
It's your chance, guys. So check out the contest over at the Facebook group. All right, as always, Rod, great having you on the show. Have yourself a great night, and we'll talk with you tomorrow.
Great to be here. Have a good night.
All right, everybody. Rod Zawacki here on the drive-through. Joined here with Chris Ruffolo. We'll continue on our show. We're going to welcome El Ninos to the program. El, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. I know you're going to be looking at this Loyola Marymount game, right? This team had a little struggle last year, but they're getting a lot of points here. I'm seeing 13.5 at Minnesota.
Yeah, a little struggle last year, a little struggle in the last game too. But again, as you just said, a lot of points here. These two teams just played each other a couple days ago. A game Minnesota won 88-73. But again, Eli Scott had triple-double in their opener and then followed that up with a 14-point, 9-rebound, 4-assist game in that game, the first game against Minnesota. He's had also a couple different people show up for him, on his team for these games. And I think that obviously Minnesota's the better team here and they should win. But again, we're getting a lot of points and they just faced each other. They didn't cover this spread a couple days ago, but I think with a couple adjustments here, they should be able to keep this one a little more competitive. So I'm taking the points with Loyola Marymount here.
Yeah, I can't argue that with the Loyola Marymount plus the 13.5. Chris, what say you in this matchup?
I definitely think that there's value with Loyola in the points. I mean, I personally looked at the over before I looked at a side in this game. Just I think we could see another high-scoring game here where, potentially we see both teams get into at least the 80s. But I think the key for Loyola Marymount here is going to be limiting the turnovers. They gave up 19 turnovers in the first game compared to Minnesota's 11. And, defending the three, Minnesota shot 53% from beyond the arc in that first game. And you got to, if you can defend that a little bit better. We can't forget that Loyola Marymount actually led by as many as 9 in that game. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that they could jump out to another lead like that again and maybe this time, hold on to it a little bit better or even keep this one closer than the 15 points from the last game. But like I said, I like the over, but I also can put a small play on Loyola with the points as well.
All right, Loyola with the points there, agreement there with this one from El Ninos. All right, Al, approaching the bottom of the hour. Big card tonight from college basketball. We got the Monday Night Football game going. What do you have going on over at Pick Dawgz Premium?
Yeah, I got my Monday Night Football play as well as one more college basketball play if you want to check those out. Got some more college basketball tomorrow, and we'll be looking at a couple of Champions League games as well. And then it's back to the good old, well, of course, more just basketball on Wednesday, then back to football again on Thursday, and doing the same thing next week. So, as you said, it's a good time to pick up a pass. We got lots of sports going on right now.
Yeah, lots of sports going on, guys. Pick up one of those all sports pass. That's your best value right now over at Pick Dawgz Premium. Of course, Al covers NFL, college football, college basketball. He delves into the European soccer as well. So good time to pick up one of his long-term passes. All right, Al, great having you on the show. You sound better with that upgraded mic, my man. Good job.
Thanks, man.
All right, Al, we'll talk with you tomorrow. Our buddy Al Ninos here on the show. All right, continue on with the drive to it. Yours truly now. It's time for my pick. We're going to look at this college basketball game between Pacific and Nevada. We're going to take the points here with Pacific Tigers at plus 5.5. Head coach Damon Stoudemire led Pacific to a 23-win season last year. Stoudemire believes in playing a lot of guys and could wear down opponents in the second half. He did assemble more scorers via the transfer route this season. There are lots of rotational players back this year for the Tigers. Now, Steve Alford returns as head coach for Nevada's second season, but they lost 4 starters last year. They lost 5 of their top 6 scorers. Not a fan of backing Alfred with young players laying points against up-and-coming programs with experience. I've seen enough of them with UCLA. So my pick here will be Pacific Tigers. And I like the Pacific Tigers getting the plus 5.5 points. What say you in this one, Chris?
Tony, you got a great head of hair, but I'm worried it's protecting a very hard head because I don't want to butt heads with you. But you know what? I think I'm going to have to on this one. I like Nevada, excuse me, just because I think bringing in Desmond Cambridge, proven scorer from Brown, I think that's going to fill a little bit of the voids that were left by the guys that all left Nevada's program last year. Don't get me wrong, I am not a Steve Alford fan as much as the next guy. I almost had him in such high company as Mick Cronin, but. I just think that Nevada's just the better team here. They played the tougher competition in the first couple games, and they looked pretty good against Nebraska. Whether this is a good Nebraska team or not, we'll have to see in a few weeks. But as far as this game goes, I see this one being close for the majority of the game, but I think just Nevada seals it with free throws late and pulls away for a cover. But again, at 5.5. Maybe not by more than 1 or 2 points. I could see this being a 6 or 7 point game.
All right, Bud Heads here with yours truly here on this pick. I like Pacific. Chris likes Nevada side. All right, continue here on the drive-through. We want to look here, Chris, at this Monday Night Football game. We didn't get one pick from the handicappers, so you and I will look at this one. Seattle and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Seattle, when they were laying about 6.5, I'm seeing some 6 pop up here. A couple books. Total sits here at 49.5. Of course, Seattle. That extra rest after that Thursday night game. Of course, they get the extra day here for playing on Monday. So a lot of rest for the Seahawks team, who put up a couple good defensive efforts in their past 2 games.
Which is a nice change of pace for Seattle, isn't it? I mean, the first Seattle team that for so long was just all we talked about with the Seahawks was their defense and how solid this team is defensively. You look at the guys that have gone through that system. Your Jadeveon Clowney, your Bruce Irvins, your Legion of Boom, and then now it's just the Seahawks just can't defend for whatever reason. They get thrown on left, right, and center. I think they have the worst passing defense in the league. Thankfully, tonight it may not look as bad because you do have Carson Wentz on the other side. And, man, Carson Wentz and Doug Peterson is almost as dangerous a combination for stabbing you in the back as a better than Justin Herbert and Anthony Lynn. And that's no fault of Justin Herbert, if you get what I'm saying. But, I just think that Carson Wentz is I'm sorry if there's any Philadelphia Eagle fans in here. I think he's the worst quarterback in the league, and that's saying something with some of the people that we have. Daniel Jones in that league, in that division. It's just if you're a Philadelphia fan, you got to be hoping that your team is going to start looking somewhere else in the near future. I personally thought maybe they should have kept Nick Foles, but again, that's just another story for another day. As far as tonight goes, I just think this is a spot where we see vintage Russell Wilson. And not even vintage Russell Wilson from years past. He was playing, MVP caliber football the last few weeks, up until a rough patch the last couple games. So, would it surprise me if Philadelphia showed up here in prime time at home? Maybe a little bit, but is it possible? Absolutely, because like I said, Seattle's pass defense has been horrendous. And spoiler alert, if you got my NFL side pick, I'm sorry, but I can't hold it in anymore. I'm on the Seattle Seahawks. It's a square play. But you know what? I can't back this Eagles team. They're terrible. Like I said, Carson Wentz, there was a reason that he didn't have a receiver that had 500 receiving yards last year. Philadelphia fans call it balance. I call it that he couldn't stay on the field, and even when he was on the field, he couldn't get the ball to them. Sorry, my rant's over.
All right there, Chris Ruffolo on the Seahawks. I'm joining with you. I'm on that train as well. I'm the Seahawks train. I like that. I like the rest angle here, playing with the Seahawks, who seem to get a couple good defensive performances under their belt here before they take on a Eagles team with Carson Wentz feeling the pressure of Jalen Hurts possibly taking his job away from him. That's, I think, something the coach is doing to try to get Wentz to play up to it. But, man, leads the league in interceptions, too many fumbles, too many turnovers. You got Russell Wilson there. And, of course, you got a situation where you've got the Rams losing, you got the Cardinals losing. And I think the Seahawks here want to take advantage of that and come up here big with this win and cover against Eagles. So I'm with you there. All right, going here on the drive-through with Chris Ruffolo. You got something to say else on that one?
Yeah. Yeah, I just think to your point, Tony. I think it's if you're looking at the Philadelphia Eagles, I think it's the Chicago Bears are a cautionary tale for this team. You saw what Chicago did; they tried to light a fire under Mitch Trubisky. You bring in Nick Foles. Nick Foles doesn't work, and then you're going back to Trubisky. So you just got. I think if Philadelphia's got to be a little bit careful here, bringing in Jalen Hurts, kind of threatening Carson Wentz to play a little bit better with him like kind of breathing down his neck. But again, we saw it in Chicago that it didn't really work out. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Philadelphia Eagles handle this situation going forward.
Yeah, there certainly is. All right, guys. This is a drive-through. We're here Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. I'm giving you picks for all the primetime games. So a lot of picks. As you know, our format now is fast-paced, so we get through them in enough time for you to bet these games. Is worth just past the bottom of the hour. Why don't we go ahead and show you the picks from today's show? El Ninos will join us here on this segment. We start off with Brian Bittler. He liked North Carolina laying the 13.5 against UNLV. Kevin Thomas was LSU laying 26.5 against Southeastern Louisiana. Chris says take the Beach, Long Beach State plus 17.5 against UCLA. Ron Zawacki, Stanford plus 2.5 against Alabama. Alaninos, Loyola Marymount plus 13.5 against Minnesota. Yours truly was on the Pacific plus 5.5 against Nevada. Chris and I agreed on laying the points with Seattle. We'll start with Chris. Other than your pick, which one do you like the best?
I think I'm going to have to go with Brian Bittler on that. North Carolina minus 13.5 against UNLV. I won't be forgetting the Rebels lost to Montana State anytime soon, I don't think.
All right, over to Mr. Alaninos. Other than yours, which one do you like the best?
It's funny. I was trying to get in on a couple of these picks before the pick I gave out, with North Carolina being the second one, and then my top play would definitely be the Long Beach State plus the 17.5. Definitely like North Carolina better at 12.5, but still like them there at 13.5.
Yeah, I'll join you, Al, in saying I like the Beach here plus the points against UCLA. All right, guys, reminder, our show, the drive-through back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern time, so be sure to tune in. We're here Monday through Friday. It all gets started in the morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time, with the morning show with Mitch, Chris, Rod Zawacki. You see Annie on there as well. And, of course, we'll welcome some new handicappers next month to the show, so be sure to tune in to the drive-through. All right, let's go ahead and bring in the crew from today. Give you guys a nice wave goodbye. Have a great night.